Hello everyone, it's Nathan. I'm on FICS and I'm going to be playing a 15-minute standard game against Alex. Alright, here we go. I'm going to actually opt to open up with d4, even though I typically play e4. Let's see what we have. Knight f6 or d5 is typically what I'm used to, but with Alex you never know what you're going to see. Okay, d5, and I guess we'll walk into the Queen's Gambit. Okay, the Albin counter Gambit. I believe like 3 or 4 moves into this line. I know you have to take this pawn, d3, and I believe the knight develops to f3, adding pressure to d4. This d4 pawn kind of becomes a thorn in white's side. I'm not sure exactly how to respond. Like I said, I guess just knight f3 and add pressure to d4, and he'll develop knight c6. Okay. Yep. Okay. I'm not sure exactly what to do next. I guess since my dark squared bishop's already able to come out, I might as well do that. And there's not many good squares for either d2 or f4, really. And I'm going to go for the more aggressive f4. For some reason, I have a strange way of intuiting openings that I don't know, especially in a standard game. In Bullet or something, I'm just going to fall apart. But with this, looking to regain the pawn on c4, should I play b3? I don't like that move. Is there another way to defend that pawn? I'm going to try knight d2. I want to hang on to the material. Okay, and he's forming a battery along the h3 to c8 diagonal with the queen and bishop. I'm going to have to definitely watch out for that, since I am going to be castling in the direction of this battery, kingside. So I guess I'll kind of stop the bishop and play h3. Just from any problems along this diagonal. Castle queenside, okay. I guess I can't see that I didn't see that coming. I mean, none of the kingside pieces are developed yet. He'll have to play king b8 at some point to guard the corner pawns. But since he's allowed me, I'm going to go for expansion on the king side. It's going to be kind of dangerous to castle now. I believe I'm going to play bishop g2 and castle kingside. And it's going to be a bit open, but I think I'll be able to defend decently. Okay, I believe I have enough supporters for this pawn, so I'll follow up with that plan and play bishop g2, followed by castle. If he wants to take, I think I take with the knight. Okay, do I take with the knight or bishop? If I take with the knight, I'm on his queen, and it's almost forcing knight takes knight, and that's kind of trading down. So, okay, so knight takes knight, bishop takes knight. Alright. And his knight develops finally. I have pressure on d4. Maybe I play knight f3 and essentially triple the pressure on that d4 pawn. That might be pretty good. My bishop on g2 also has a clear view of things, so maybe I don't want to play knight f3 and kind of block off the bishop. Perhaps I take advantage of the bishop's eye along this diagonal before I play knight f3, or even castle. Maybe, I think queen b3 might actually work here. It's going to be converging with the bishop on b7, essentially a mate threat, so maybe have black react to that, and then play knight f3 trying to gobble up the d4 pawn. That seems pretty solid. I've used a couple minutes more than Alex, so in the event this reaches an endgame down the road, he'll have an advantage. But the immediate threat is the mate, so how do you defend? c6 or b6, really, is all I'm seeing. c6 weakens the diagonal. My dark squared bishop will function very well. And b6 weakens the dark squares, so my light squared bishop will be functioning very well. Both of my bishops are ideally placed, and I don't think I'm going to be wanting to give them up for a knight. I mean, both these bishops are just streaming down at the black king side. Definitely in the Albin counter gambit, or not the counter, just the Albin gambit, it results in crazy positions. But black has decided to play c6, so my dark squared bishop, I believe, will function well. And you have to be very aggressive in the Albin gambit, so I believe I'm going to play maybe g5, kick the knight around, followed by h4 if necessary, or maybe just g5, knight f3, or knight f3, then g5. So a lot of options, or just castle. Let's calculate a bit further. Knight f6. I'm hitting d4 twice, but it's defended by the rook since he queenside castled, so I don't know if that'll be a good choice. I could castle kingside. And what would black do? Just develop. Okay, I'm going to actually go ahead and play g5. It might be a bit risky, but you kind of have to be. So I can't castle right now because of the queen-bishop battery along a3. If I castle, that h3 pawn will be lost. So with that move, his knight's on the back rank, probably not the best place for it. So I'm really cramping black up. And do I want to even still castle kingside? I definitely want to get my king castled, but I can't do that because of this battery on h3. So, crazily enough, maybe I want to castle queenside. Is that too crazy? Now rook will be ideally placed on d1, where it would add indirect pressure to his d4 pawn. That might be pretty good. So I'll castle queenside. I definitely am liking my position right now due to my bishop's mobility as well as my queen's placement. I believe my queen is functioning very well. And at some point, maybe I could play queen a4 or even queen a3 once the dark squared bishop moves, and the black king won't be able to scoot over to b8 to guard the a7 pawn that I would then be attacking. Okay, so with this move, what's black looking to do? I'm not sure what this move is doing. It's not like g6 needed to be prepared or anything. Well, in order to get better, I've been trying to tell myself exactly... I've been trying to train myself to look at every single move my opponent makes is creating a weakness. And every single move that my opponent makes, I will try to exploit the weakness that that move created. And this move creates a undefended h7 pawn. So, can I exploit that? And I believe I can in the form of bishop e4. So I'm going to go for bishop e4. Does he play g7? Or g6, I mean. Okay, so he's just looking to trade down. I really like my bishop, my dark squared bishop, but I don't think I can hold on to it. I think I kind of have to take. Is taking a good choice? Huh. Actually, hold on a second. That bishop just developed in front of the black queen, and the queen's no longer guarding d4, so he just drops a pawn. Oh, I didn't think I was going to see that. Okay, I was really ready to grab that bishop, but it goes to show what taking a second look can do. Okay, so g6, he's guarding h7 against my bishop, and Our bishops are lovely, just centralized perfectly. Granted, his bishops are centralized as well, but don't seem to be doing as much. And I think his position is just falling apart here. My bishops were hitting 2 pawns, h7 and a7, and I can just grab a7. So this is definitely falling apart. My knight can move and add pressure to the bishop on d6. Okay, so he's stopping my knight from moving. Although once my king moves, he's going to have to be careful about discovered attack against his queen, as his queen is opposite my rook. But I don't like my knight being pinned, so I'm going to retreat my bishop. Okay, let's do this. And if takes, I believe I recapture with my queen. Or the pawn. I don't even know why I'm considering the pawn. I'll just be doubling it and get no compensation. So, queen's ready to infiltrate on a7 if need be. Well, not if need be. I mean, it's coming. I'm attacking after all. My knight can move and reveal an attack against black's queen. My light squared bishop is placed well. Okay, so I think I just moved my knight. Is that doing a lot of good, or is it just kind of wasting a move? Well, let's actually let him take me, because if he takes me, my knight can recapture, and I don't have to worry about bishop takes knight right away, because my rook will be hitting his queen. So let's hold off on having to take that pawn, and actually infiltrate with my queen. But as a result of that pawn move, his queen's defending a7, so b6 is the second best. And I'm also adding pressure on c6 at this point. Okay, so I just take with my knight and reveal an attack against the queen. I'm not sure that was that good. What do I grab the pawn with my bishop on c6? I'm going to go for that, actually. Kind of like a counter-attacking move. He takes my pawn, I take a different pawn. But where does his queen go? I'm ready to... Okay, trading queens, that's good. I'm attacking, so you might as well try to trade. I don't really want to go for that. I'm going to avoid the queen trade and instead back up with tempo and check the king. And is this mate? Yep, that's mate. Alright, so that's checkmate. That was definitely a crazy game. It was only over in 23 moves, but that was definitely a crazy game. Alex definitely played very well. I'm surprised I played that good, actually. I haven't played standard chess in quite some time. But nevertheless, comments and rating is appreciated. Thanks so much. Bye.